in lockdown. It's Pete's Voodoo Room. Loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Okay, welcome to Coronaville. This is our first podcast for 2020. And we had lined up Jerry Pantazes, but unfortunately, due to the coronavirus, he's not available. So I've decided to do it myself with Howard.
Hey.
Say hello to the world out there, Howard.
Hello, world.
Beautiful. So, where do we start? I think we should start with Coronaville. I mean, what a crazy time in what we're going through. I mean, it's just unprecedented. I keep saying that. It's unprecedented, but...
It is. I keep realizing new things that have changed and that have been cancelled, and I'm just increasingly shocked every time I think about each new thing.
I'm not discovering new things. I'm just discovering how, in some weird way, I'm enjoying the isolation.
Well,
that's freaking me out, man. You know, that if you're enjoying isolation, what's that saying about you? You know what I mean? It gives you more time to do your YouTube editing, upload more films.
Yeah.
And
gives you more time to do things you don't usually have time for.
That's right. Have you applied for that job at Coles?
I did apply for Coles. Any job anywhere, and I haven't yet received anything.
No, nor me.
But I'm hoping to get approved for youth allowance in the next week because I'm still awaiting the letter from them.
Okay.
But, I'm fairly sure I'll get approved.
Yeah. Well, we're all entitled to something. I mean, you know, you pay your taxes. But yeah, this whole coronavirus, man, it's. I mean, the thing that gets me is. When I go and buy my coffee from the coffee shop. Yeah. It really got me down, man. There was no one in there.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just like, wow. I mean, it's good because you get your coffee quick. But
oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
it's, something out of a strange film, just seeing everything so empty.
It is. I mean, I was listening to Norman Chomsky. Do you know who he is?
No.
He's a retired professor, and he's a social commentary dude who is quite renowned for his historical knowledge. And I was watching his YouTube footage this morning. He was being interviewed in 2016. And he had a cup of coffee in his hand. And he was in his at his ex-university in Massachusetts, I think that's where it was. And he believes that in sometime after the cavemen,
right,
there was an alien human that came from somewhere, and changed our makeup and everything, and we became, throughout history, this identity, and the aliens are watching.
Interesting.
And it's sort of, I was just trying to understand that concept. The aliens are watching. Like, it was just like, but they've been with us for many, many years. Do you feel like you're an alien, Howard?
I have some pretty strange thoughts sometimes, but not exactly that.
But you bleed bread, right?
Yeah.
So, like we all do, right? So,
exactly.
The thing is, imagine if you bleed green, then you'd be.
That would bring on some concerns.
Yeah, not only for your health, but just to figure, well, maybe
who you are.
Yeah, who you are. Am I an alien?
Yeah.
You know, and maybe that's. I mean, this bug is an alien bug.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. I was just trying to figure out. I mean, he made perfect sense when he was talking about it and how he constructed his point of view. And I'd have to say that I was watching it and I was editing a video that I was uploading, and I was watching him talk, and I was just like picking up things, and he you know, he just goes throughout the time of English colonization in the Americas, and then they wiped out all the indigenous people, and then they went on and did the industrial age and so on and so forth, and then we had nuclear war, and then he went on about nuclear war and about nuclear warheads in the early 80s, where we came very, very close to annihilating the Earth. And I remember that as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't realise how close we were in 1981. Apparently, we were really close to someone pressing that button. So it's worth having a look at that if people are interested. It's Norman Chomsky, and he's really interesting.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, he's been a commentator, because I sort of knew about him in the early 2000s. That's when I came across him, because I thought that he was a really interesting guy in terms of his political views, in terms of what's going on with the Gulf War and all that sort of stuff. And he makes pretty good sense of things, you know.
Yeah.
So Howard, how you been, brother? I mean, we've been all isolated, and you're only 20 years of age, right?
Yeah, and moved out at pretty much the perfect time in terms of the self-isolation and...
So you just live with one other person, or...?
At the moment, yeah, just a uni friend in a small unit in Hawthorne. And it's been interesting because, we had a few days of normality, and then, bam, we were pretty much stuck in the house all the time. But it's been fine. Obviously, if I can get youth allowance approved, that'd be nice, just because of the rent. But
that wouldn't even get close to the rent.
Well, no, it would be something.
Yeah.
But just being with him and watching his favourite show on Amazon.
Is he a student as well?
Yeah, and he's really smart and just great to be around and talk to.
Okay.
And we eat all our meals together and talk about films and the state of things.
What films have you been talking about?
Well, he's shown me a couple of his favourites. One of them was The Producers, which I hadn't heard of before, but really liked that. And he's also shown me a show on Amazon Prime called Patriot, which I highly recommend. It doesn't sound appealing on just from the description.
Is it a series?
Yeah, it's a 2-season series about a private investigator who has to get money from Milwaukee to Iran, but it's not so easy, and just so much thought goes into the entire production. Every single shot is interesting, and it's just fun to watch.
Is it in current time or?
Yeah, pretty much current.
Okay.
Late 2012 it's set.
Oh, but it's set in 2012.
Yeah, set in 2012.
So was it made around that time?
No, 2017 was the first season.
Oh, right. Okay, so it's been around for a few years.
Yeah. It's it deserves much more attention. Yeah,
because I saw, because I'm a Netflix guy.
Yeah.
And I watched earlier this year when I was holidaying in Port Fairy. I was watching. I found The Messiah. Have you seen The Messiah?
No.
Man, I watched the whole 8 episodes within a span of 48 hours, I reckon. I just couldn't get enough of it. Have you ever been in one of those sort of moods where you just go, man, this is too good, I'm going to watch the next episode?
Yes, it's...
and you waste your life away.
Well,
sort of.
It feels like that afterwards.
I feel guilty. When I watch back-to-back episodes, I go, man...
I have that feeling, but...
I haven't been for a walk. No. You know, I haven't done my exercises. I've watched The Messiah. You know.
But you don't do that every day.
That's holiday mode.
It's a once every so often
Well,
thing.
We're sort of on holiday mode now, aren't we?
Well, exactly. It's, I've had a couple of times like that, and it feels a bit weird, but just thinking back to the shows and how good they were, it makes me inspired to
try and make something like that.
And put in the effort.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I've got a lot of DVDs because in my time when I say my time, I mean, I'm an old man now, but DVDs and VHS, were the thing. And I brought, as you can see, that's only a portion of my DVDs there.
Yeah.
And they're mainly music documentaries, a lot of them.
Yeah.
But I've got another cupboard full of DVDs. And after doing my fine arts degree many years ago, I came across this film called Citizen Kane. Have you seen that?
I am sad to admit I haven't.
That's one you want to see.
Yeah.
Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
Or The Night of the Hunter.
Okay.
That's another one. They were sort of groundbreaking films for their time. Robert Mitchum. Do you know who Robert Mitchum is?
No.
Or was? Yeah, he's an incredible actor, man. You could check him out.
Definitely.
They were the sort of ones that I liked. But then I went more to Andrei Chomsky. Have you heard of him? He was a Russian filmmaker.
Vaguely.
And if in terms of beautiful landscape filming, like incredible.
Yeah.
Like that. Like there's a film called Solaris. Solaris was an amazing film where there's a lot of long shots.
Yeah.
Sustained lengths in time and space. I remember when I first bought the film, I used to fall asleep. First time, quarter of the way through.
Yeah.
The second time, about halfway.
Yeah.
The third time, 3/4 of the way. And then the fourth time, I watched it all. It took me 4 goes.
Yeah. Because
it's like taking a sleeping tablet watching his films.
Movies like that.
Yeah, but they're great. They're great films.
Yeah.
Like he was criticised because of that fact, because they were they were 3-hour films or 2-hour films, and they used to just drag on. But the plot develops.
Yeah.
But it's just that shot, of someone just sitting there with a microphone like you or whatever for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And nothing's happening.
Yeah.
But it's great. It's like a meditation. He was a filmmaker who was sponsored by the Russian government back in the 60s. And I think they used to use him as propaganda to make film for socialism, for communism.
Right, yeah.
And he made some incredible film, but when he made Solaris, that sort of was groundbreaking, in Cannes and stuff like that, and in film festivals all around Europe. Yeah. And he was a prolific filmmaker, and then he defected. I'm not sure when it was. It might have been in the early 70s or something like that. He defected to, I think it was Sweden or someplace like that, man. And he did The Sacrifice. Now, that is the best film that he made, I reckon, is The Sacrifice. You got to see that, man. Yeah. He burns down a beautiful house in real... And because they ran out of film, they had to build the house again and burn it again. Do you believe? How much would that... And burn it again. Like, they built a house, right? They burnt it. And the premise of The Sacrifice is... Because it was made in the mid-'80s, I think it was, something like that, late 80s. And we were in that time with the nuclear proliferation, and so he really tapped into that consciousness of what was going on consciously around the world with that threat. But he did it in a way where he used it as a metaphor, the sacrifice. It was about... this woman and her husband and their child, and, they're living in this beautiful countryside in Sweden, man. Absolutely incredible. And then they built this house, and then the sacrifice is that, the woman's got some, I think she's got mental health issues or something, but then they're talking and then you just hear the jets go past, like fighter jets. And that's when the bombs are starting to happen, but they don't know it's bombs happening, It's quite intense. But it's like in terms of beauty, you've got to watch that, man. That is just sensational.
I can imagine, yeah.
I'll show you I'll show it to you when we finish.
Yeah.
Like the cover, so you know what you're looking for.
Did you see 1917?
No, I didn't. I'm not a fan of war films like that. You know.
Well, I mean, the scenery was pretty stunning in that, but
yeah, but it's all trenches. Was it mainly trench warfare?
there were a lot of trenches, but also just large farm areas, and just obviously it was
it black
done
and
as one
was
shot.
it black and white or
No,
okay,
done as one shot, which emphasised just the movement through large areas, but that was done quite well in terms of scenery and vast landscapes.
When did you see 1917?
A couple of months ago.
At the cinema?
Yeah.
Oh, that's when we used to go to the cinema.
Exactly. It seems like a distant memory.
Yeah, I miss those choc tops, man.
Oh, yes.
You know.
Boysenberry.
No. No, I'm a vanilla guy, man. Vanilla.
Vanilla's not too bad.
Oh, it's awesome.
But
and the one in the Kino, I don't know if do you go to the Kino?
No.
Man, the one in the city, they actually dip the vanilla in the chocolate, in the chocolate. I mean, they still do it.
Right.
It's not like it's not the streets.
Yeah.
Pre-fad vanilla ice cream,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I look forward to that. That's my thing. I look forward to it.
Well, it's great. It's sad cinemas have been put on pause because it's the best way to experience a lot of films. A lot of people watch it on their laptops, which isn't too good. Some people watch it on their phones, which is ridiculous for almost every movie. But
well, you can't get a sense. I mean, I don't know. I mean, as you can see, I've got a Bose speaker there.
Well, exactly.
And that makes a bit of difference, like if you're watching something, gives you a bit of...
Yeah, and sometimes...
A bit of love.
Sometimes you have to, but a lot of films I've seen, some I've seen a second time on my laptop, and it's just seems like a subpar film compared to on a massive screen. But
so what are you doing? Music? Are you playing music or?
I just practice guitar at home at the moment.
Okay.
My housemate also likes to sing and play a bit of guitar, so it's fun. We've done a couple of just practiced a lot of different songs, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Because when I first met you, you played with your dad at Birds, and you were you a guest on that, or you played the whole show?
No, I was a guest. I just did one song.
That's right. I thought so.
And that was a VCE song.
Yeah.
Because I was just going to year 12 then.
Did you enjoy that show?
A lot, yeah. It was all a bit of a blur, really.
I remember you needed a seat, you needed a footstool.
I've seen the video recently, and
it's on video, is it?
Yeah, it is. Just not the video that Birds has at the moment.
Someone took it in the audience. Yeah,
good to see it anyway. But
you had a footstool, right? Did you have your foot on the stool or something?
No. I think I had my legs sort of crossed a little bit in a very awkward position. But I've got a knee guitar extender thing to make it easier to play these days. So.
But are you playing a nylon guitar?
Yeah,
you are
classical,
playing. Yeah. Is that your thing, or?
That's my thing. I've got a 12 string which I play sometimes.
Okay. Why nylon string, man?
Because that's what I started with, and at high school we had a classical guitar ensemble. It was all nylon and pieces for nylon. But I've realised that...
It's hard on your hands, isn't it, than when you're learning, that the nylon.
It's easier than steel, yeah.
Okay.
And I've learnt a lot of songs that are originally on steel, which sound perfectly fine on nylon. It's a bit of a different sound, but it's...
Yeah, nylon's a
just
sweet
a bit
sound.
softer, and even,
But have you got a steel string acoustic?
Not a 6 string, just a 12 string.
Man, you're really getting that avant-garde stuff going on, right, with the guitars. The Baroque sort of style.
Yeah.
The 12 string and the nylon string.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I want to play the 12 string more often because I've obviously learned a few songs and it's really nice sound.
So who have you, as a musician and working at the Basement, which act have you worked with that you thought, wow, those guys are incredible?
I really enjoyed Tex Perkins and Matt Walker.
Really? Okay.
I just loved the sound of the slide and the really rough singing.
Oh yeah, totally.
Who else? Broderick Smith I liked.
Yeah.
He obviously not a guitar, but
but he's a really well versed guy, isn't he? He's really experienced, but also well read. He's an intelligent guy.
Yeah.
And he's quite funny, witty.
Oh, definitely.
You know.
Yes.
But in terms of international acts, who would you say that you've gone? You know, they've actually influenced you in some way.
Yeah. In terms of guitar, I mean, there haven't really been many guitar. I liked Leo Genovese, his experimental type, fast piano playing, just was really interesting to me because I've never really got deep into improvisation, but I really want to, and just seeing that. So
I mean, that was just
showed that pretty crazy, but showed that there's pretty high bar in terms of the extent to which you can go.
I thought Keon Harold was amazing.
He was really nice. Yeah, haven't heard many trumpet players like that.
Like that, yeah. Because it was more palatable, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was because his trumpet was weird. Did you notice that? Like it wasn't like the shape of it was the way he held the trumpet. It was sort of like a flugelhorn rather than a trumpet. Yeah. I mean, I know he's playing a trumpet, but that's what it looked like to me.
Yeah.
Because the tone also wasn't like a. Do you know if there's different types of trumpets? Like you can get different.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, you know, like in harmonicas, you get the key of A and B and C and D.
I'm pretty sure there would be.
You know,
quite a few.
Because I know that like when Grand Wazoo play and they're playing those trumpets, man, like they're tearing my brain apart. You know, because they're facing right at me and they're playing it, and it's just so like whoa, loud, man. It's incredible.
I'm obviously in the back room away from the sound, but I've heard them a few times outside, and pretty loud. But,
oh man, you know, and
there's a lot of people.
I don't know. You know, I always seem to, whenever there's a trumpet player, they seem to face me, like directly at me. You know, and it's like, what's with that, man?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like it really, like, you know, there was a time there before I got the baffling in there because the sound would bounce off the back wall and the side walls, and it would be piercing. You know, you'd be just like, oh man, you know, you know, just torture.
Yeah.
So that's my little dilemma. You know, that's a small dilemma in comparison to what we're going through at the moment, where we've got no work.
Well, kind of all escalated in a very short amount
of time.
It did,
didn't it? I mean, 1 minute where, what was it? We had Steve Smith, the incredible drummer.
Yeah.
He was there for 4 days.
Well, it was earlier than Steve Smith where it started going downhill.
It did. It was. But no one really took it as serious, did they? Like, people were just going, oh, no one knew the extent of how serious it was.
They were like, oh, yeah, something might happen.
Yeah. But, well, I sort of got the gist around the Grand Prix period because I just thought, man, you know, stuff's going on in Asia and people are dropping dead in the street.
Yeah.
And when I read that, because you know, unless you're interested in the news and I mean, most people, I mean, I don't know, you know, like, but at that time, you know, everyone we were working with, I'm not sure if they were keeping up with the news, and because they thought that it was a young person's, you know, they were immune from it, didn't really worry them, you know.
No.
But as we're working out now, it affects everybody.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. We're having a virtual Easter Sunday.
Are you?
On Sunday, so we're not sure how that's going to go. But
what, next week?
No, in 2 days. Sorry, not Easter Sunday, just a
Sunday roast, like a Sunday roast sort of thing.
Well, it's a lunch. Yeah, it's Mum's birthday.
Oh, right, okay.
Easter. So we've got some games planned. over probably Zoom or something.
Oh yeah. What are you going to
See
play?
how that's going to go. Sorry?
What are you going to play?
Well, our auntie has organised some coin
Two up?
games.
Like two up?
No, it's to do with a grid of numbers. We're not sure
Right.
how it's going to work, but
Right.
she's someone who has everything sorted out beforehand. So sometimes it fails, but
Well, I was going to go down to Kmart and buy Monopoly, but I've got no one to play it with.
yeah. Well, Monopoly is a hard one to do it online or over a call.
That's true.
But
Oh no, you can get some dice at home and roll it. And
that's true.
I don't know. Things are up for grabs. We've got we've got Rudy. He's our mascot.
Rudy, yeah.
He's a 9-year-old golden retriever who has a life of luxury. When I take him for a walk, he knows exactly which way to go, and that's that way. Because there's a pet store. Every time we go for a walk, his nose goes that way.
Wow.
So he's on the money, man. He knows exactly where to go.
Well, he hasn't been affected by coronavirus.
No, he doesn't, man.
Yeah,
he still
same as ever.
No, he just goes out to the front in the backyard and barks, and everything's normal.
Yeah.
No, he's just oblivious to it, which is good.
It's nice. It's a silver lining.
That's it. All right, we're going to wrap it up there.
No worries.
Stay tuned for next week. We'll probably be doing a podcast via Zoom with Darren Ferrugia next Wednesday.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Howie. And take care, all you people out there. Yeah. Thank you for joining us in lockdown in the Voodoo Room. Until next week, see ya.